Hey guys, in today's video I am beginning to explore the possibility of adding Tesla Model S or Model X battery modules inside the case of the Toyota RAV4 EV. It's a thing that I've had on my mind forever, pretty much since I bought the RAV4 EV. The first thing I thought is, can I replace the battery pack and make it bigger and go farther? It's been put on the back burner for a long time, but that's how I started really with all this stuff. Originally back in the day, so about a year and a half ago, before I built the first T-Rex, I wanted to build homemade modules using 18650 cells and build my old modules and put them inside the case, because that seemed like a great way to me at the time to get a higher capacity cells and make larger packs and pretty much customize it in any size or shape that I needed it to fit in the pack. So it turned out to be way too expensive, way too risky, and just a lot of work, because I bought the spot welder that's behind me that is currently going to be given away to somebody once I get to 1,000 subscribers. I have a video on that. But I was gonna use that to build these custom modules. And with testing with it and trying to reliably make a few thousand connections, and that kind of scared me, which I still was interested in trying. But then I started looking at prices, and I got a good deal on 18650 cells. They were the LG MJ1s. So at the time they were pretty high end. They're one of the highest capacity. I think they were 3,400 milliamp hour each. And that was their rated, so of course it's probably going to be 25% less or something. But I got a price on those for $2.80 each. But by the time I added everything up, with all of them that I was going to need, it was going to be about $15,000 just in batteries. And that doesn't include any kind of mounting or any of the wiring that I need or anything like that. So it got expensive really quick, and the potential for disaster in my mind was just not worth it, because if it didn't go together right, it just was going to be way too expensive. So anyways, I scratched that, and I ended up just going with the T-Rex. That was the second idea, so I started doing that instead. So now I've successfully built the first T-Rex. It works great. Working on the second one. I have some time to kill because I'm waiting on the control boards for the V2, and just kind of going back and thinking about it. And I also now have 4 RAV4s to play around with and see what I can do, and just see what's under there, what it's really like, see what's possible. So if you watch another video that I made, it was a video about removing the battery pack. So I removed the battery pack. I had sold all the modules out of it, which was perfect. It was what I was looking for, because I wanted to keep the case. I didn't want to sell the whole battery pack. So I pulled all the modules out of it, and now I have this empty case to play around with. And watch that video just to see how I pulled it out and stuff. But in this video, I built a little a box, basically, just a shape to represent the Tesla modules, just to see how many I could fit of these modules in there. It's going to be an ongoing project, and it's going to take quite a bit of time and money, and it's going to take some expertise, because I'm probably going to have some custom controllers made. And I think with 16 Tesla modules, that is 96 series cells, and the RAV4 has 92. So the voltage is going to be different. The high and low voltage is going to be different. The car itself is programmed to work within the limits of a 92 series cell pack, and it will have to get modified, I would imagine, to use a pack with different voltage. I feel like this could be achieved with some kind of CAN spoofing device, where it would take the data, the status really of the pack, like so state of charge, voltage, all that kind of stuff, and then have it enter like this CAN spoofing device, and then show the RAV4 whatever details it wants. So for example, the top voltage on a Tesla battery pack at 4.2 volts per cell is going to be, I think it's around 403 volts, 403.8 volts or something like that. Whereas at 4.2 volts per cell for the Tesla Rav4 pack is around, I think it's 386.4. So as you charge the car would stop at, I would assume, around 386 volts. The car actually, I've never seen it even get that high. The Rav4 seems to keep the cells to around 4.09 volts per cell max. It's probably just for safety and longevity, the life of the battery. But really, I guess what I'm getting at is the car is going to stop charging at some point when the battery pack still has more capacity, you could charge it higher. So if we spoofed the data from the battery pack saying that, say it's at 390 volts, but the car thinks that the car sees the CAN data and the CAN data says that it's at 370 volts. And so that way, those are just numbers. I don't know how they correlate or how that have to all get worked out, but allowing the pack to charge up to 400 volts roughly, even though the car is going to see 386 volts because of the CAN spoofer. So I have no experience with all that stuff. I have very little experience with CAN. I learn every day more about it, but I'm guessing that it would need something like that in order to work within the limits of the Rav4. Maybe it's possible to reprogram the Rav4, but in my experience, it's been really hard to get any kind of data off the Rav4, and I think that would be a very difficult route. So I don't think that is going to be I don't think that's going to be a reasonable path. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. Just so you can watch the rest of the video, you can see me fumble around and try to raise the pack back up into the car, and I'm gonna have to find some better methods for it, but it was a crude test that showed me what I needed to see, and there's definitely gonna be more to come, but it's gonna be pushed back once the controllers arrive, and then I'll go back into version 2 of the T-Rex. But yeah, enjoy the video, guys. Hope you like it. See ya. So this is what I have going on out here. It's a cold day again, so forgive my sniffles. But so what I did here is just mocked up the dimensions of 14 battery packs, 14 Tesla Model S battery modules. So I'll stop the clip right now and show you some pictures I took yesterday, and you can kind of get an idea of how I'm planning on fitting these in here. Okay, hopefully that helped give you an idea of the orientation that I plan on having these modules inside this battery pack, this battery casing. So what I did is just imagine that I had the first row of 7. So you can see in the photos that I can fit 7 of these modules in each level. So I'm going to have, and there's little trays you can kind of see, and hopefully you saw in the photos, there are these little trays, and I could fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then long ways I would have 6 and 7. So I can fit 7 per level, and then the big question has always been if I can actually fit a second level, and I don't know if I can get under there, but yeah, I can't really make the angle with this gimbal, but I'll take another shot and show you what it's like underneath the car. And I don't know if it's going to be hitting, rubbing. I just don't know if there's enough space underneath the car to go that much higher. So I really need to go about 2 inches higher, and if I can't, I'm going to have to drop the battery pack a little lower to the ground. And what I'd have to do is add just probably really thick, just maybe 2-3 inch, something like that, wide by maybe 1 inch thick aluminum bar, or maybe even steel, and just run it along here, so then the mounting and everything would be just a little bit lower. So let me get a tape measure actually, and I want to show you the height that I'm working on with this. All right, so here's the height that I was talking about, and you can see this is set to be, this is 5 inches high, and that's from the channel right there. So that's where the module is going to be sitting. The first module is going to be 3 inches. They're both 3 inches tall. Second module is going to bring it up to 6 inches. So what I'm planning on doing now is taking an inch of foam, so my 1 inch thick foam, and I'm going to put a layer of that over on all this wood, and then slide the pack in, and then get a couple jacks and jack it up and see what hits. And by using foam on the top, I'll be able to see by the dents in the foam exactly where it is hitting. I'm assuming it will hit somewhere. We'll just see if this is working. I have no idea if any of this is going to work at all. This has just been an idea I've had since the beginning to add more capacity to the existing case for the Rav4. So I have absolutely no idea if this is going to work or not. This could be a total waste of my time and your time, but this is what I have going on right now. Okay, here we go. I got the foam on. I had to notch that little piece out a little bit to get that little guy to stay in there and not be in the way. And I have a tape measure here, so I will show you. Yeah, so it's just, where is it? Just slightly above, slightly higher than 6 inches. So if this works, it might be nice to have a little extra, maybe another ½ inch for clearance, but I don't know. So right now I'm going to slide this under the car and start to jack it up and see what hits. But this right here, if you drop this battery pack with 14 Tesla modules, this is what it would look like. And let's see if it fits under the car. I've got it started. Looks like I have it perfectly balanced. It's only up on a jack in the front and a jack in the rear. And I'm starting to lift it up, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's already hitting, unfortunately. Yeah, it's already hitting on the front. All right, as you might be able to tell, it's already hitting on the front corner over here. There's still plenty of room out back. Really blurry. There you go. It's, yeah, still lots of room out there. So already it looks like the front left and right modules would have to be changed. And I'm just kind of going, I'm eyeballing the mounting right here. So this is one mounting screw, and that's where it goes. So it looks like I'm pretty straight on. But yeah, that looks like already an issue. And I'll show you what it looks like on the case. There's my wife. So this is what they did and how they tapered it. So as you can see, that's one point that is definitely hitting. So might have to change up the setup for the modules a little bit. Well, it's not the greatest test because it's not quite lined up, unfortunately. The whole battery pack shifted this way a little bit. but it looks like I do have a fair amount of space. All right, so I had to tweak the layout, the configuration a bit based on that little test. So it looks like the front is just going to taper too much downward in order to get that module there. So I thought about maybe trying to center one right here, but I don't think that's also going to work because you can see where it hit there, the corners, and it didn't actually hit here. But there is a crossbar that goes across. There's two of them across the middle here. So I don't think even centering that would work. So I'm going to have to probably eliminate that module there. So that means best case scenario at this point, I'm looking at 13 Tesla Model S modules, which pretty much means I'm going to have to put some in the rear cargo area. Disappointing, but that also means I can get to 16 modules. So if I'm gonna put just one back there, I might as well do two more and do all 16. So I'm gonna have to do some more testing, of course, and I'm gonna have to reshape this little thing that I created here and remove the 3 inches here, and I'll show you on the T-Rex how the front tapers. You can kind of see how right about here it gets taller. So if I can, just bring it back a little bit. It seems like I have enough room in the back, but more to come. Lots of work ahead of me on this one. I still, of course, want to get the T-Rex version 2 put together. I'm just waiting on the controllers that I need from my buddy. Once that's done, I'll redirect my attention back to the T-Rex, but for now, I guess I'll tinker with this too. But thanks for watching this clip, and hope you guys enjoyed the info, and there'll be more to come. Thanks for watching. Here's some bonus footage if you stayed here to the end. I just put the cover on because I'm getting ready to button everything up because unfortunately we're getting snow tomorrow, they're saying, and that it's going to rain for like the rest of the week. But I was just kind of putting the stuff away, kind of cleaning up, and I just put the cover on it, and the rear fits surprisingly well. It's really, I could screw that on. It's that close. Right about here, it definitely starts to taper downward, so you can see how it's raised up. I might have to eliminate more modules, which would suck, but it's fairly close looking at this. So we'll see how much room is up there once I trim this piece off and do some more work. But so that's what it looks like with the cover on top of this this thing that I built. Thanks for watching.